In a world that never sleeps, where the noise of life seems to be constantly turned up, how do we find a moment of silence? How do we navigate the relentless waves of stress that life throws our way? These questions might feel overwhelming, yet the answers lie within a wisdom that has stood the test of time. The teachings of Buddha, a sage who lived thousands of years ago, might seem distant and unrelatable at first glance. Yet the wisdom he imparted holds profound relevance even in our modern, fast-paced world. This wisdom, steeped in mindfulness, detachment and compassion, offers a beacon of light in the chaos that often surrounds us. Today, we delve into the Buddhist strategies for coping with stress, offering guidance on finding that elusive calm amidst the storm. We explore the art of being present, the liberation in letting go, and the connection found in compassion. Join us on this journey as we explore the wisdom of ancient teachings and their profound relevance in our modern world. Stress, as we know it today, is a modern malady spawned by the demands of an ever-evolving society. It's a ubiquitous part of our lives, a constant hum in the background that we've almost grown accustomed to. It's woven into the very fabric of our daily existence. The pressure to achieve, to excel, to constantly be on the move. The modern world bombards us with stimuli. We are awash in a sea of information, constantly navigating the waves of social media, emails, news, and ceaseless digital notifications. We live in a state of perpetual connectivity, tethered to our devices, always on, always reachable. Our environments, too, contribute to this sensory overload. The hustle and bustle of city life, the noise, the crowds, the traffic. It all adds to the cacophony that we've come to accept as normal. We're rarely granted a moment of silence, a respite from the relentless onslaught of noise. This constant noise and chaos take a toll on our mental health. We may experience anxiety, restlessness, and difficulty concentrating. Our sleep may be disrupted, our relationships strained. We may feel a constant undercurrent of tension, a nagging sense of discontent. Chronic stress can also have serious physical repercussions, from headaches and fatigue to more severe conditions like heart disease and high blood pressure. It's clear that stress is not just an inconvenience, but a serious health concern that needs to be addressed. But the question remains, how do we cope? How do we find balance in a world that seems to be teetering on the edge of chaos? How do we quiet the noise and find a moment of peace amidst the turmoil? The answer may lie in ancient teachings, in wisdom that has stood the test of time. What if we told you ancient wisdom could be your key to managing this modern stress? Buddhism, at its core, is about understanding the nature of our minds and the world around us. This ancient wisdom, deeply rooted in the teachings of Buddha, centers around three key principles: mindfulness, detachment, and compassion. These principles, when understood and applied, can serve as invaluable tools for navigating the tumultuous sea of modern stress. First and foremost, mindfulness. Mindfulness is the conscious act of being fully present, of engaging fully with what's happening, what you're doing, where you're going. It's about not being overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us. It's not about silencing the chaos, but rather about tuning into it, observing it without judgment. This heightened state of awareness brings clarity and calm, helping us to navigate stress with more ease and grace. Then comes the principle of detachment. In Buddhism, detachment doesn't mean indifference or a lack of care. Instead, it's about understanding the transient nature of life, about not clinging too tightly to experiences, emotions, or even our own identities. It's about learning to let go of the things we cannot control, to accept the ebb and flow of life without being swept away by it. Detachment, in essence, is a kind of freedom. Freedom from the cycle of stress and worry that so often dictates our lives. Finally, compassion. Compassion in Buddhist teachings is the empathetic understanding of the suffering of others and the desire to alleviate it. But it's not just about others. It's also about extending that same kindness and understanding to ourselves. When we practice self-compassion, we learn to treat our own stress and suffering with the same care and understanding that we would extend to a loved one. This not only alleviates our own stress, but also fosters a sense of connection and shared humanity that is deeply comforting and healing. Are you ready to explore how these timeless principles can be applied in your everyday life? Scene script. Mindfulness, the practice of being fully present and engaged in the moment. Let's unfurl this concept, shall we? Picture this. You're in a bustling cafe, the aroma of freshly ground coffee beans and the cacophony of laughter and chatter surrounding you. Yet, instead of being swept up in the whirlwind of activity, you're focused. You're aware of the warmth of the cup in your hands, the subtle hints of the flavor in your coffee, the sensation of the chair beneath you. You're not thinking about the past or the future, but you're truly immersed in the here and now. That, my friends, is mindfulness. In the grand tapestry of Buddhist teachings, mindfulness is a standout thread. It's about cultivating a keen sense of awareness, a focused attention to the present moment. It's about acknowledging our thoughts and emotions, not with judgment, but with curiosity and kindness. But how do we practice mindfulness in our daily lives, especially when we're constantly juggling multiple tasks and responsibilities? It starts with small, intentional steps. Take a few moments each day to just sit in silence, focusing on your breath. Feel the rise and fall of your chest, the rhythm of your heartbeat. When your mind starts to wander, gently guide it back to your breath. This practice of mindful breathing is a cornerstone of mindfulness. Another technique is mindful eating. Instead of eating on the go or while scrolling through your phone, take the time to savor your meal. Notice the textures, the flavors, the colors of your food. It's a simple act, but it brings a sense of calm and appreciation to your daily routine. Let's consider a real-life example. Julia, a software engineer, felt overwhelmed with her workload. She started incorporating these mindfulness techniques into her daily routine. Over time, she noticed a significant decrease in her stress levels and an increase in her productivity. She was more present in her interactions, more aware of her thoughts and emotions. But how can we let go of our attachment to stress and truly be in the moment? It's a question that leads us to the next part of this journey. Detachment. But that's a story for another scene. So, stay tuned as we continue our exploration into the timeless wisdom of Buddhist teachings. Detachment in Buddhism is a profound concept that encourages us to let go. It's about releasing our grip on the things we can't control and instead focusing our energy on the present moment. But what does this mean in practical terms, especially when it comes to stress management? Well, think about stress as a tight knot. Each strand represents a different worry or concern, all intertwined and pulling at each other. Trying to control or suppress these concerns only tightens the knot. But by practicing detachment, you're essentially loosening each strand, making the knot easier to untangle. How can we cultivate this sense of detachment? It begins with understanding that our thoughts and feelings are just that, thoughts and feelings. They're not who we are. They're temporary, passing through our minds like clouds in the sky. By recognizing this, we can start to step back and observe our stress from a distance, rather than getting caught up in it. This doesn't mean ignoring or dismissing our feelings. Instead, it's about acknowledging them without judgment and then letting them go. It's a bit like watching a movie. You can get engrossed in the story, but at the end of the day, you know it's just a film. You can step back, switch it off, and return to your life. The real-life application of this principle can be seen in various scenarios. Perhaps you're stuck in a traffic jam, late for an important meeting. Instead of stressing over something you can't control, you could choose to accept the situation, let go of the anxiety, and use the time to listen to a calming podcast or practice deep breathing. Or maybe you're worried about a future event, something that's weeks or even months away. Instead of letting this anxiety consume you, practice detachment. Acknowledge your worry, but then bring your focus back to the present moment, to what you can control right now. But what role does compassion play in managing stress? Compassion. It's about understanding the suffering of others and wanting to alleviate it. This is a core principle in Buddhism that plays a significant role in stress management. Compassion, as defined in Buddhist teachings, is not merely feeling sympathy for another's suffering. It's a deep, empathetic understanding combined with the desire to relieve that suffering. This principle reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles. Take a moment to consider this. Every person you pass on the street, every individual you interact with, they too carry their burdens, their stresses and their anxieties. Recognizing this shared human experience can paradoxically foster a sense of connection even in our most disconnected moments. Practicing compassion starts with ourselves. It's about recognizing our own suffering and responding with kindness, rather than judgment or self-criticism. It's about giving ourselves the same understanding and patience that we would extend to a dear friend. This is self-compassion, a form of self-care that can significantly reduce stress and improve mental health. But how do we cultivate this compassion for ourselves and for others? It begins with mindfulness, by being present and attentive to our thoughts and emotions. It means acknowledging our suffering, not avoiding it, and responding with kindness and care. Consider the practice of metta, or loving-kindness meditation. This is a technique where we silently repeat phrases of goodwill towards ourselves, then gradually extend this goodwill to others, even to those with whom we have difficulties. This practice nurtures a sense of connection and empathy, fostering compassion in its purest form. Another simple exercise is to consciously practice acts of kindness, big or small, in daily life. It could be as simple as offering a smile, a kind word, or a helping hand. These acts not only benefit the receiver, but also cultivate a sense of well-being and contentment in ourselves. Remember, compassion is not just about the grand gestures, it's about the everyday choices we make, the way we treat ourselves and others, and the understanding we foster. Through compassion, we can find connection in disconnection, peace amidst chaos, and ultimately reduce our stress levels. But how do we integrate these Buddhist strategies into our daily life? The teachings of Buddhism are not just philosophical concepts, but practical tools that can be used in daily life. They offer us a way to navigate through the noise and find a sense of calm within ourselves. We've discussed the importance of mindfulness, detachment, and compassion, but how can we integrate these strategies into our everyday routines? Mindfulness is about being present. It's about noticing the world around us and our reactions to it. This could be as simple as taking a few moments each day to focus on your breath, or really tasting your food when you eat. It's about stepping back from the constant rush of life and appreciating the beauty in the ordinary. Detachment, on the other hand, is about letting go. It's about understanding that everything is impermanent and accepting that change is a natural part of life. This could be as simple as acknowledging a stressful thought and then letting it pass without judgment. It's about learning to be at peace with uncertainty and not clinging onto things that are beyond our control. And then there's compassion. It's about recognizing the inherent suffering in life and responding with kindness. This could be as simple as listening to a friend in need or offering a helping hand to a stranger. It's about stepping outside of our own needs and desires and connecting with others on a deeper level. But remember, integrating these strategies into your daily life isn't about striving for perfection. It's a journey, and like any journey, there will be bumps along the way. The key is to keep practicing, keep learning, and keep growing. As you do, you'll find that these Buddhist strategies become more than just tools for managing stress. They become a way of life. So, what can we expect on this journey towards inner peace? The journey towards inner peace is not a destination, but a continuous process. It's a path that requires courage, commitment, and compassion. It's about embracing the silence amidst the noise, finding tranquility in turbulence, and discovering serenity in stress. In the course of our exploration, we've delved deep into the profound wisdom of Buddhist teachings, uncovering strategies to manage stress and find calmness in our chaotic world. We've learned how to be present in each moment through the practice of mindfulness, letting go of our attachment to stress through the principle of detachment, and fostering a sense of connection in disconnection through the power of compassion. Mindfulness, as we've discovered, is the art of being fully present, of experiencing the world in all its raw, unfiltered glory. It's about stepping away from the incessant chatter of our minds and immersing ourselves in the here and now. By practicing mindfulness regularly, we can cultivate a sense of stillness, a sanctuary of silence amidst the noise. Detachment, on the other hand, is about letting go. It's about releasing our grip on stress, on the things that cause us anguish and anxiety. By cultivating detachment, we can navigate life's turbulent waters with grace and serenity, finding peace amidst the chaos. And compassion, that powerful force of connection, reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles. By extending kindness and understanding to ourselves and others, we can dissolve the barriers of isolation and disconnection, fostering a sense of unity and shared humanity. Incorporating these strategies into our daily lives may seem daunting, but remember, it's a journey, not a destination. It's about taking small, consistent steps towards inner peace, about making a commitment to continuous learning and growth. As we continue on this path, remember the power of these ancient teachings. They serve as a compass, guiding us towards silence amidst the noise, calmness amidst the chaos. And remember, the journey itself is the reward. It's in the quiet moments of reflection, in the gentle release of stress, in the warm embrace of compassion that we truly find peace. As we navigate this chaotic world, remember the key to finding silence in noise lies within us. It's a journey worth taking.